So this may be a different style of video to what I usually make, but I hope you stick around and I hope you like it. For the longest time, I have had an interest in trains. Whether that be Thomas the Tank Engine, the model train sets my parents would get me, or going out and rail fanning. They have been a part of my life as far back as I can remember. Unfortunately, if I want to legitimately ride a train from point A to B, there aren't very many options. Yes, there is Amtrak service where I live, and while I am a big fan of theirs, I can't ignore the problems with their service. Namely the availability, unreliability, aging equipment, and most importantly for this video, speed. Some of these can be fixed in time, while others simply cannot. While there have been many initiatives and programs to build a high-speed rail system in the United States, most either never become realized, or they become muddled in bureaucracy and corruption, such as California High-Speed Rail. This project was meant to connect Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, and San Diego, along with other smaller cities, with a high-speed rail system that would give the rest of the world a run for their money. And since its conception, has never laid a single foot of track. Oh yeah, they built stuff, a few bridges here and there, a viaduct, some like buttresses thing, yet no catenaries, no rail, no station, and certainly no train. Need I mention this project has been under construction since 2008. All this work has been on this section of the line from Merced to Bakersfield. What makes it even worse is that this line is only going to be completed in 2029. A decade after it was originally set to finish in, wait for it, 2020. Thankfully for us all, there is hope for us yet. Enter Brightline, the first privately owned U.S. passenger rail company in over 100 years. And get this, they operate a functioning railroad. There's a train, there's coaches, there's a station, there's track. Oh man, it's beautiful. They currently run a line from Miami to West Palm Beach via Fort Lauderdale, with construction currently underway on an expansion through Orlando Airport and another expansion, still in the planning phase, from Orlando to Tampa via Disney Springs. We'll get back to this later. Now, I realize that most of you are saying that, well, mate, Brightline and the California Rail aren't even compatible, mate. Brightline's like a normal train, mate, and California's like a high-speed bullet train, mate. They aren't even comparable, mate. Alright, fair enough. These projects have two very different philosophies for how they run their railroads. However, I think it's important to realize this is not Europe, Japan, or China. This is the United States. The best we have been able to muster so far is the Excella Express of 150 miles an hour sometimes. So I think that since these two are the main rail construction projects in the country at this point, they're comparable because they're the only ones in town. Obviously, the more technically impressive California Rail will be the most costly, take a longer time to engineer and build compared to Brightline simply upgrading existing trackage. But I think they're missing the point, considering that good, reliable rail travel simply doesn't exist in most of America. I think Brightline's approach to passenger rail is doing something that California wishes it could do, laying down a foundation. Arguably, the biggest problem passenger railroads need to overcome is simply getting people out of their cars. And while having a high-speed bullet train grabs headlines, in terms of getting long-term support, it has failed spectacularly. What is better is simply getting passenger rail to more people and building the culture to the point where people will support a high-speed bullet train all the way until its completion. That is why I prefer Brightline's model, as it simply gets passenger rail to more people in a reasonable time frame. Though I do have one more thing to say, and it is about this stretch of line between Orlando and Disney Springs. I believe that when this stretch of line eventually opens, it will be the most valuable stretch of railroad in the entirety of the United States. It really should be obvious why this is the case. Disney World is the biggest and baddest tourist attraction on the face of the earth. Every single kid dreams of coming here once in their childhood. And I'm willing to bet, after they land in Orlando, little kids that like trains as much as I do will beg their parents to take the train to Disney instead of a bus or car. This has been my TED Talk on American Passenger Rail. I hope you liked it.